Not since Robert Kennedy has an American politician excited me in the way that Barack Obama is exciting me. I'm listening to his speeches, I'm reading what he's written, I'm reading about his life, and I'm filled with hope and optimism that this man can replace George W. Bush in the White House. I heard his launch today of his presidential campaign. He doesn't need notes. He doesn't need an idiot board to read whilst pretending to the rest of us that it's all coming straight off the top of his head. He's eloquent. He's handsome. He's brave. He's put himself out in front where he will now suffer the slings and arrows of the gutter press and media in the United States, who are already burrowing away in his personal life, his mother, his father, and all of that. And of course mindful of what happened to Jack Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., and the great Malcolm X. He's brave in putting himself out there because someone somewhere in the United States will already be dreaming of putting some lead in his head. We must all hope, that's my call to you, we must all hope that Obama wins the Democratic Party's nomination for President of the United States and goes on to win the presidency itself. Let's go to Simon in Zimbabwe just to show the reach of the mother of all talk shows. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Galloway.
You're welcome.
I would like your opinion, please, on whether, at this time, it's quite an iconic debate whether it's going to be the first female president of the United States or the first black male president of the United States.
Yes.
Which would you offer as the best situation? Again, given that Miss Clinton, would follow up on the war, and Mr. Obama would reverse that decision and continue with hopefully a peaceful revoking of forces and let the Iraqis take care of their own point.
Well, I'll tell you what, Simon, not all of my friends will agree with this, but I don't go for identity politics myself. I don't want somebody to be the president because they're a woman. And I don't want somebody to be the president because they're black. Because there are plenty of bad black leaders, and there are plenty, though not so many, bad women leaders. Angela Merkel is a bad woman leader in Germany. Margaret Thatcher was an atrocious woman leader in Britain. And not far from you, and many would say even in your own country, you've got a black leader who's not doing terribly well. What I'm interested in is what the leader stands for and what the leader can achieve. And I believe that Barack Obama is likely to be a much more progressive leader and a much more successful leader for the United States than Mrs. Clinton. First of all, Mrs. Clinton was strongly in favor of the war on Iraq, and she is in favor of a war on Iran. Barack Obama was against the war on Iraq and is against a war on Iran. Obama is much more radical on economic and social policies in the United States and has a better grasp of the racial dynamics that exist in the United States political system than she does. The best asset that Mrs. Clinton has is that she remains married, it would appear, to Bill Clinton, who was an extremely experienced and in many parts of the United States quite a popular politician. But as I said earlier, for every person that's turned on by the Clinton name, there's somebody else vehemently turned off. Simon, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with your opinion, and I don't particularly have any favorite. I just think we live in a very interesting time that it is either one or the other.
Yes, it's a good point.
Female or a black male.
Yes,
and
it shows that politics have changed, yeah.
There's in my point of view, there's no other option. except one of those two.
Well, of course, they still have to defeat the Republican Party candidate, whoever that's going to be, likely to be Senator John McCain, who's a bit unbalanced, if you ask me. I think he's an extremely volatile figure. I wouldn't like to have his finger anywhere near the trigger, Simon. But I think the Democratic Party's time is coming to win the White House. And if they choose Barack and he can win, it'll really be worth something. That's my point of view. Where are you calling from in Zimbabwe, sir?
Harare.
Okay, good luck. The best of luck to you. I know these are difficult times there. We're talking about Barack Obama. Every time I look up at the screen and see him there, I must say my feeling of optimism, my feeling of hope about his candidature is reinforced. Most people who've called or written seem to feel the same, which is not to say, of course, that he's going to be perfect. He's going to be right on everything, that he's going to take exactly the right policy, political attitude on everything. It's not to say that the Democrats are some kind of revolutionary force that are going to end the role of the United States in the world, or any of that. It's just after nearly 8 years of George W. Bush, suddenly we have someone who was anti-war, who was out there on the streets against the war on Iraq, who's promising to bring the American army out of Iraq within 12 months, has a chance, a real fighting chance of capturing the White House. Doesn't it make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? If you're alive, I think it should.